excited and I'm feeling very proud of myself lately because I have been kind of a little bit focusing in on the power of the human mind. And I've been able to kind of calm myself down in situations where I would usually like flip a lid just by coming back to my breath work and things like that. But anyway, welcome to Someday I'll Have a Podcast. My name is Ren. I am your host every week of this episode. I say every week as if I'm consistently posting, but that's just simply not the case. But yes, it's me. I am always the host of this podcast. And basically, you'll hear anything and everything here because it's just my little place on the internet where I talk about really whatever it is I feel like talking about. And what gives me credibility is just the fact that I'm a human being with thoughts and feelings and opinions just like you. Like I have no credentials besides that. So here we are. On the day I'm recording this, loyalty sales for Electric Forest have been on sale the past couple days. I believe the day I'm recording this tomorrow, the general admission, general public sales go up. But I've just really, it's been on my heart to talk about this the last couple days because of all the excitement and all the whatever about the forest. For those of you who don't know, Electric Forest is a 4-day long camping music festival put on by Insomniac Events. It takes place in Rothbury, Michigan. This, I believe, will be like the 11th year, 12th year, something along the lines. It has a lot of history. It used to be Rothbury Fest before Insomniac took it over. And I don't claim to know everything about it, nor do I really want to. I just know my experiences, and I have that. And that's just kind of what I want to talk about and share with you all today. It is this year, in 2024, will be my 6th time attending this music festival. And I pretty much vow to never miss it again, like no matter the circumstances, because it has done so many things for my life. It's just been a place where I've connected so deeply with the people that I love. It's been a place that's opened my eyes to healing. It's been a place that allows me to run around and act like a kid, heal my inner child, play. I think that as adults, we lose play so much. And like, I think a lot of who I am is because I've had these experiences of holding on to just like playing and being a kid and like, valuing the fun of life, not taking myself so seriously. And this is a place where I just get to fully embrace that totally fun, reckless, now not at all serious side of myself by just like dancing, frolicking literally in a forest, hanging out with my best friend for days on end. Camping, getting dirty, like focusing in on the things that matter. And it's not about, what you're wearing, who you know, your job status, your title, how much money you make. Like no one knows that about you and no one gives a shit. Truthfully, like it doesn't fucking matter. And excuse all my language, but it's obviously something that I get hyped about. And music festivals often do this for me, give me this sort of release and excitement and reminder of how to live life. But I think specifically what the forest has showed me and taught me just from like the people that I've met there, the way that you're camping. So it's like you're in the bare bones of it throughout the week. Like there's nothing, you're not coming home to a nice comfy bed and a shower every night. It's like you are in this with like thousands and thousands of other people, just like staying up all night, like sharing water, just like committing to the chaos. And I freaking love that. But, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because, there are so many different viewpoints. And so I'm just here to share mine. First, I want to talk about the way that it's become a little controversial. And not controversial in the sense of like intense or like even important, but a lot of people lately I've seen on like the internet forums and even just talking to people, people are really upset with the prices raising. And I mean, I'm the last person to want to spend money with that, but people are also really upset that it's like become more mainstream. And I do see both sides of it for both of those things. For one, the price is going up. I like that sucks, and I agree. And I nearly cried when I had to dish out all the money that I dished out the other day for this freaking festival. But we also do have to consider inflation. And like that's the same reason that electric forest prices are rising, is the same reason gas prices and price of eggs have been rising in the last couple of years, right? And that's not to excuse it by any means. But because I've been there and I've gone through it, I can personally say that it is worth that amount of money. Like the experience that I have is valued to that, if not more, personally for me. Also, I feel like it's worth mentioning that like if you want big acts and big names and your favorite artists to be playing at this event, like someone has to pay those artists to be there. That cannot be cheap, right? It also have been trying over the last few years to upgrade the experience in many different ways. So like, yeah, Good Life Camping is going to be a couple $1,000s because you're literally paying for someone else to set up your tent, give you air conditioning, like have access to water, not water, of course, have access to water. That's like the bare minimum. Have access to like free showers and air conditioned bathrooms. And like that's also stuff that they have to set up in the middle of a forest, like in the middle of like a nature preserve. So of course these prices are going to go up because they're advancing these sort of experiences. Again, the fact that general admission prices have gone up too, and like having to pay for your car camping and all that separate, like yeah, that does suck. And I only probably sound like I'm defending it because I love this festival so much. It means so much to me, and I think it is a wonderful, worth it experience. But thinking about it from a business standpoint, they also have to make money when they're spending money on the production, on the artists, on the resources, and all that crap. And also, like I always compare it to other festivals too, like at least in the realm of Insomniac Events. Insomniac Events puts on many festivals, so like this 4-day event where you get your lodging like included with that price costs the same, if not less than, a 3-day event in Vegas by the same company. And you also don't, when you're in Vegas, you also don't get lodging or any other amenities included. And so like I think you have to put it into perspective. There are a lot of other festivals that are more bare bones camping and stuff that are cheaper as well. And so like I get comparing them because they're put on by different companies. And I can't really speak on that because I have not done any other camping festivals that are put on by other companies personally. So I can't really speak on that, but I think that's something worth considering. The production value and all of that you're getting. Yeah. And also people are saying like, oh, it's become really mainstream. And the way that I see it is like, yeah, because it deserves to. Like, and it's because of us. It's because of people like me who have gone freaking balls to the wall screaming about how magical and special and beautiful and freaking fun this event is. So if people are hearing 40,000 people echo that same message, yeah, more people are going to want to come. So it's because of us hyping it up that it's become more mainstream and more people want to show up, and it's well deserved. And so like, yeah, as much as that sucks because there's not as many books running around or it's become more expensive, and in that sense, like it does suck, but it's also like that's just the natural like snowball effect of this sort of thing. In regards to the books running around, I do agree. So like in my the first year that I went in 2017, I definitely believe that you saw a lot more of these like dirty hippies, basically, which is what like a wook is in theory. These dirty hippies, barefoot, running around, like up at all hours of the night. I feel like you did see a lot of that, and people are saying that there's not so much of that anymore at Forest, and I partially disagree because I feel like it's just kind of what you're paying attention to. You know what I mean? Like if it's your first time and that sort of thing stands out to you, then yeah, you're going to see more of it. Whereas it's your sixth time, for example, you might just not notice it as much because you're more focused on other things. You're more focused on the artist or a new art installation or hanging out with your friends. You're not like so wide-eyed and bushy-tailed to the whole experience. And so I don't think that I don't think that you're seeing as much of it in theory because you have a different perspective. You're looking at it from a different lens. Something else that I wanted to talk about is like people oftentimes like to shit on the lineup or like to again, it comes back to like whining about the prices. And again, I'm not saying that I love the prices. I truly am not saying I love paying any more than like $100 for an experience, but I will because I know that it's worth it. But anyway, back to what my point was. People will be like, oh, well, this isn't as good as like blah, 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 your lineup. And like they should have blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm not going because I don't see like this certain DJ on there. Well, then don't go. Save the freaking ticket for someone who wants to go, who wants to have that experience, who would love to be open to seeing new artists and finding new DJs that they might be into. Like, you sound like a pretentious little prick saying that kind of stuff, honestly. If you want to see a certain artist, then go see them somewhere else. Like why is this festival responsible to catering their lineup specifically to you? You know what I mean? Like I see so much of that and people just complaining and it's like, dude, if you're gonna complain that much, then just don't go. It truly is that simple. Like we don't want that sort of Debbie Downer energy around us anyway when we're trying to enjoy it, trying to have a good time. And we are, being open to checking out new artists because maybe we don't recognize a lot of the names, but like, why is that a bad thing? You know what I mean? So I definitely want to put that out into the air. Like, just simply change your mindset or don't go and save the tickets for people who want to have this experience, who are fighting to get a ticket. You know what I mean? So there's also that. I also, oh my gosh, there are so many things and so many topics I could cover about this festival, literally. And I hope that this episode reaches the right audience and the right crowd and the people that either agree or disagree but need to hear this message, all that sort of stuff. But shifting gears a little bit, this upcoming year in 2024, I will be taking my dad with me to the forest. And a lot of people, if they don't know me, probably are like, oh, cool, your dad's probably like a deadhead, whatever, probably like a hippie and raised you this way. But no, no. He's just open to the experience because I've been ranting and raving about it for the past 5 years. So, we had a lot of big changes recently in our lives and he just wants to have the experience, And so I'm really excited to take him and show him and, just give all the shenanigans to him. And I think he's really going to have fun. Like he's been getting down to some cool new artists and stuff with his Spotify recommended playlists and things like that. And I'm just really excited to show him like this new to him, like this whole new world, something that he's never been really exposed to before. And I think it'll also bring us closer having this sort of experience. I mean, he loves camping. So like that portion, it's like, he's loves putting up his tent and grilling out and stuff like that. But it's going to be a whole different vibe. And I'm just excited to see him have that experience and like meet new people and like have people come up to him and trade candy and whatever. And I don't know. It's just exciting. And it's exciting that it will be a new meaning and a new special and a new perspective for me too for this festival. And I just am so stoked. I think that's super cool. And so I'm really excited to report back on that experience. Also, this year we are doing something different. Me and my friends have committed to doing Camp Higher Love, partially because of bringing my dad. He's an older guy, never done this sort of thing before. And so like having a little more space is definitely something that I think he will value. And plus we're all getting a little older. I hate saying that because I'm like, who cares? Youth has no age, right? Like I could do GA for the rest of my life and be fine with it. But all my friends we've all just kind of been talking about like spoiling ourselves and, doing Camp Higher Love. It's like you've got access to air-conditioned bathrooms, a shuttle towards the front of the venue. So, you don't have to walk as far every night and every day. You have a little more space for your campsite, whereas GA, you're like butt to butt with every other car, which is fun. That's how you meet people. But we're doing a little bit of an upgraded experience this year. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm just excited to see what's different, if I think it's worth it, all that sort of stuff. So definitely keep your eyes and ears out for that. I want to round this out by singing my accolades to the forest and to Insomniac events. And again, people will have their qualms, but I just love their intentionality behind everything. I love all the little details. Like there are so many little corners of the forest that I haven't experienced even in going in 5 times. There are so many little events and cocktail experiences that I'm recently learning of, and different events and workshops and things that you can go to, all with the price of your ticket, all included. With different areas, ways to meet new people and connect with people and see new artists and meet artists. And there's just it's so intricate and it's so like well put together. And there's so many things to experience always. Like you just can't go for the music and go home. It's so much more than that. It is such a full transformational experience. And so I just think that I just got to give them so much credit for putting this together and partnering with so many other wonderful companies and vendors and brands and creators that want to bring their visions to life. And the forest really is a place that allows for that. They have art installations that people can submit from all over the place, different creators doing different events and coverage for various platforms. They've got Electric Forest Radio, which a friend of mine that I met through YouTube worked with last year, where she was literally hosting interviews and stuff throughout the weekend, where that was being broadcast on Electric Forest Radio. There's just like so many cool things and ways that you can get involved and plug in and do more, as they say. They have the prize cart that literally encourages you to clean up after yourselves on the field after a set. Clean up after the crowd, and you can get rewarded for it. We've gotten some awesome prizes in the last year from the prize cart. As you turn in your trash bags, they'll give you prizes based on how much and what kind of crazy trash you picked up off the ground. Like it's cool. It's so cool. And even the way they've got the campground set up, they have the after parties. And yeah, a lot of things have changed over time. And again, that's bound to happen with everything regardless. Like that's another, I would say, qualm that I've seen people have, is that like the after parties have changed a lot from like being at the RV sets, in RV camp, where it's like anyone can set up their own after party, which was so freaking cool. Like I do miss that more raw, authentic, like party vibe of it all. But I also think that they're trying to make it like I guess more of an event space than a free for all, which I mean has its pros and cons. Believe me, I loved the RV afters with there were just so many cool people and so much creativity. And it's not to say that that doesn't happen anymore. You just kind of have to search it out a little more, which also makes it really a really cool sort of like hidden experience. But I also love the way that everything changes every year. I have to give credit to that one thing you see in the forest you may never see again. Some things come back, but they come back different. They come back improved. Stages change. Different events and things you can participate in the forest change and move and evolve. Evolution. I think that is a good word for the forest. Like it is ever evolving. And that's just like life. That's just like humans. That's just like humanity. That's just like the world. And I think that also plays into why they do it that way. That like you can never really know what you're going to walk into in the forest. And for that reason, I love it. It is going to be a different experience every single year. And yeah, I truly could go on and on and on. And I definitely think that this episode would be a lot longer if I did that. It definitely could reach a 45-minute episode on my own. I'm nearing just about 20 minutes now. And I'll keep blabbering for a moment, but yeah, I just think it's super wonderful. I love the vision and I love everything they're doing. And someday I hope to get more involved with it truly in a deeper level. And that's going to be a time when I am less committed to the group. Like something that I love about it is that like it's a place where me and like a bunch of my friends, like all my close friends, dude, we go there and we're just like going ham all weekend, because your only responsibility is to have fun with your friends for 4 days. Like what? Like I can genuinely, truly not imagine anything better. Like there's no time that you have to be back at camp. There's no like responsibility to even see any certain set. Like you can just wander the forest and just like vibe out and meet new people and hang out and freaking lay in a hammock and watch the trees dance for a while. Like Oh my gosh, the opportunities are endless, and it makes for a very special experience. And so, with all that being said, and since we are talking about a music festival, I am going to finish off this episode with a song recommendation that was in my top 100 songs of 2023 that I just got recently in my Spotify Wrapped, which was so fun. And this artist is playing Electric Forest 2024. As of right now, they are on the first wave lineup because, honey, we're only on the first wave of the lineup. They will keep announcing artists until the day of, essentially. I don't know a lot by this artist, but this is going to encourage me to keep on listening and learning more. But the artist is Dimension, and the song is Lick. This song, it's just beautiful. It's sort of like, okay, I really am so bad at genres, and like I kind of hate putting things into genres because I'm never like, for one, accurate, but I also just like don't even. It's so hard to qualify anything. Literally anything. It is so hard for me to qualify what genre something is and why it's that genre. But anyway, with that being said, I would say it's a little more like experimental bass maybe, but it's not like heavy bass. It's like experimental euphoric bass. Like literally, what even is that? Is that a genre? Probably not, but that's what I think of when I hear this song. So it's called Lick by Dimension, and I will have it linked in the description of this podcast, as I always do when I do my fun little recommendations. But anyway, with all of that being said, let's connect. I want to see you in the forest. I want to meet you in the forest. I want to give you candy. I want to trade candy with you and spread the plur in the forest. So let's connect. You can find me on Instagram at Living Large with Elle Crew, which will also be in the description. You can always find me there. Message me, DM me. Let's connect and figure something out. I want to meet you. I want to hang out with you. If you're listening to this, if you somehow found this out of nowhere, let's connect, and I will see you in the forest. Also, a little reminder, make your someday today, just like I did with this podcast. Thank you for tuning in.